Hello, everybody, and welcome to Megazord Radio, the weekly podcast. That's right, folks. It's only been 1 week since you last heard from us, and we're back. This is the show where we watch and rank episodes of Power Rangers, the children's television program. I am your host, Riely, of course, your wonderful, magnanimous host, here this evening for a beautiful episode, and joining me, of course, the one, the only, Crow Royalty.
The way you said that had me thinking you were taking credit for being the only fucking host here. That's a lie.
No, well, that's not true. Well, I'm the host and you're the co-host.
We're both co-hosts. We host this thing together.
You're right. I'm kidding.
Kick your fucking ass.
It changes from podcast to podcast and from friend group to friend group, whether there's a distinction between host and co-host.
I know, but we are both co-hosts because we have together.
equal stake in the Megazord Radio Corporation.
I actually debated on trying to start that.
Well, we definitely cannot incorporate under the name Megazord in any form because that is a copyrighted term.
I was gonna have all of my podcasts under one LLC thing. This one included, just for legal reasons, and have it under Royalty Radio. If that's not already copyrighted.
This is my show, bitch. You can't. This is not going to be on the Royalty Radio Network. Yeah, but it becomes more your show if it's on your network.
I was going to give you stake in said company, a high amount of stake in said company. I did I said Royalty Radio because that's the first thing that popped to mind earlier.
I'm going to start the Riely Cinematic Universe LLC, and everything's going to be in there.
Well, I mean, we can... Well, technically two things can partner to make a show.
The partnering between the two LLCs of fucking Pro Radio, or Royalty Radio, or whatever the fuck, and
Royalty Radio,
Riely Cinematic Universe.
Riely Cinematic Universe. Wait, shouldn't it be the Riely Auditory Universe?
Yeah, but that's not funny.
It is, though.
But it's not. Is it? It's called Riely Cinematic Universe to make reference to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But it's an auditory universe.
Yes, but the joke is not obvious enough if it's not just Cinematic Universe. It's not all podcast. I make YouTube videos. Some of it's cinematic.
Oh wait, I forgot you were also a YouTuber.
Yeah. I made a whole ass video that you saw. You were one of the first people I showed it to.
I forgot about it. Also, guys, it is canon to Riely and anything Riely that he does in fact like ranch.
Yeah, it is true. I regret to inform the nation that my position on ranch has moved. I'm embarrassed. I'm crushed. My career is ruined.
Yeah, your career is ruined. Now you got to start back from the bottom on your favorite episode of Power Rangers.
Now, I want to make a call to action on the top of the show. It's probably already too late to get 99% of people, but because these episodes are actually getting pretty buku views. We're getting a decent chunk of views. But
wait, these are actually getting views? What?
Yes, but I'm sure they're all 1 second long. I have not looked at the retainment. But I wonder if anybody out there is truly listening. So please, I implore you all to leave comments. We will read your comments. We will love you forever.
Tell me my bad. Tell me about my bad.
Did I read the comment we got on the show?
No, we got a comment? What?
We got one comment a month ago, and I could have sworn I read it, but
no,
I guess
you never read it.
Well, let me see if I can find it again.
What did we get a comment on?
I'll tell you when I pull it up.
No, what platform?
YouTube. Well, we're only on one platform with comments.
No, because Spotify lets you review podcasts, and you can leave comments like that.
You can review a podcast, but that's not a comment section. That's reviews. Okay, so the comment was on episode 6, which is the episode where we talked about definitely Power Ranger Punks and also whatever the other episode was. I think it was No Clowning Around. Yeah, because this is what that's about. So it was Brandon says the fair fight. I already fucked that up. The fair fight, as in the location of a fair fight choreography, was the best part for me. I appreciate how they took the time to plan out ways for both the Rangers and the Putties to utilize the fair ride to their advantages. You got Zach using the ship ride to take out a Putty, while the Putty who Jason trapped behind the bar ride took the opportunity to strike Jason from behind and restrain his shoulders. Thank you, Brandon. I heard your
that's
comment, but I
actually
guess I
really
didn't read
sick.
it.
So sorry that it didn't get read. I
Yeah,
didn't know you would
if you're
left a
still
comment
out there,
on it.
Brandon, sorry, buddy.
I am so sorry. I didn't know we had a comment.
Well, Crowroty, maybe you should look at our channel more instead of blaming me. Just think of this is my fault.
Maybe I should have the channel login so that I get notifications about comments.
You're right. You know.
So yeah, this is kind of on you because you didn't give me the channel login.
Did I not?
No,
Really?
no.
I don't know. Maybe I used like my usual password. I'll have to check and change it if that's true, and then I'll give it to you. But
Okay.
folks, it's a very special day.
I'm gonna go check all of our other videos to make sure we didn't get another comment.
I literally looked at all the there's a thing where you can look at all the comments on the channel in YouTube Studio, and I did that, and that was the only one. But
Has the Crow's Nest gotten any comments?
I don't think so. Has anybody watched The Crow's Nest ever?
I've got 4 subscribers.
Hey, let's go.
Hey, that's only one less than Megazord Radio.
Me, Demi Gloom, you probably on a different account.
Me on my main account.
Yep. And Mo Diggity maybe would be the 4th.
I don't know if Mo's on there.
But folks,
I do have.
I have a feeling. You see, we've been missing a lot of weeks lately. It's been hard to gather the motivation to sit down and take the notes. I've had a lot going on in my life lately. I haven't been in the best place. And I do have a lot of love for Power Rangers, but what I don't have a lot of love for is the prep work that goes into this show. It's always worth it because of the product that comes together, so I want to keep making this show. I'm not saying that I don't. But the prep work is a little difficult, and sometimes the weeks fall behind us for a little while. I believe there was like a full month gap between episode 7 and 8, and I apologize for that. 8 and 9 rather. 8 and 9 is what I'm thinking. No, 9 is this one. Fuck.
9 is this one, dude.
9 is this one. The 7 and 8. I was right the first time. But folks, I have a feeling that era is over. I don't know what it is, but something, starting with this episode, there's some sort of change. I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like this unknown change that I can't quantify is going to further motivate me to watch this show. I don't know what it is. I can't give a tangible definition of what I'm talking about, but something about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers has changed starting with this episode that motivates me to talk about
something really funny.
So something really funny, yeah.
No, I have something really funny to say on the topic of comments. So I'm looking at the views on the Crow's Nest real quick.
Yeah.
And out of
Crow's
the
Nest
4
podcast,
episodes,
which is your podcast where you have guests on and you talk about things. Sometimes you review movies. It's pretty cool, and I think people should subscribe to it. But anyway, please continue.
But so out of the 4 episodes that I have out right now,
I'm on 3 of them.
Only 2 of them have more than 3 views, and one of them was with Mo Diggity, the other was with Kathy.
Okay, so I don't get the views, is what you're saying.
Yeah, apparently.
Hey, I was on the one that Mo was on, so
you were, but you came in later.
That's true, but they don't know that when they click on it. They saw my face.
Well, your face was in the thumbnail, so
they knew I was there. They knew I was present.
I find it really funny that Kathy's, or the episode with Kathy on it has technically the most
also,
views.
The other episodes are ones about like media that people might be looking for reviews for. whereas episode 2 was a particular episode of Power Rangers SPD, which is too niche, and episode 4 was the Confessions of a Wii U owner. So
no, nobody was looking for the Crozmo Nest show.
that's true, but I feel like there's some level of maybe this is stupid, but I feel like maybe the fact that there's My Adventures with Superman stuff in the thumbnail has an effect on the algorithm. Yeah.
Maybe, but I doubt anybody's looking for the Crozmo Nest show. Granted, that is the best episode
anybody's
we've ever
looking for the
released.
Crozmo Nest show.
Aside from episode 8 of of Megazord Radio, aka Crabs.
That was not good.
Yes, it was.
This was one of our worst episodes you've ever done.
That's the one, dude. Okay, I showed like a decent chunk of my friends, like all of the episodes that we've recorded. Okay,
and that one's their favorite. You're gonna tell me that right now and say it with a straight face, like you're not making it up for this conversation.
No, that one is their favorite episode.
What is my favorite episode that we've done? Because it's definitely not the last one. We were completely fucking stupid that entire time. I don't think you said a single word of substance, and it was 3 hours long.
What got my friend, or my friend's fiance, actually, was the fact that it was just SpongeBob references the entire time, and she couldn't stop laughing at it in the car. It was fucking hilarious.
I'm trying to think of what my favorite episode we've done was.
My favorite episode would probably be the Kubo review.
I meant of Megazord Radio.
Of Megazord Radio, it would be Power Rangers Punks.
I mean, that's one of my favorite episodes, but I don't know if that's my favorite episode we've done. I'd probably give it to episode 2, and that probably just has a lot to do with my passion for Once and Always and being satisfied with our review of that at the beginning.
Oh, wait, yeah.
The Kimberly feet count joke was funny. So I think episode 2 is probably the favorite for Megazord Radio so far for me. The least favorite is episode 8.
Hey, not my favorite, but one of my favorite ones to show people is episode 8.
Maybe I'm being overly critical. It's possible.
No, episode 3 is the best.
Was that good? Like there was the one dumb joke that the thing is named after. Like what else?
Yeah, there was a bunch of other jokes that were like debating for that one, but that one came out on top, and we just had a lot of fun doing that one.
I want to know what's happening to our channel. Maybe Power Rangers just is doing good in the algorithm right now, which makes sense because there's like weird news about it. But like episodes 1 through 4 all have like really low views. Like there's episode 1 has 15, 2 has 11, 3 has 7, and 4 has 4.
4 has 4 views.
And then suddenly episode 5, 45, episode 6, 62, episode 7, 39, and episode 8, 64.
64. God. I told you the Crabs one is the best episode. It has the most views.
I guess you're right. I guess objectively, based on numbers. Based on
numbers, episode 8 is the best episode.
Well, it also, I mean, it depends on if you start factoring in other numbers that might change, like engagement statistics.
Well, I can't see any of that.
It does not have any likes and dislikes, whereas Cause of Death, Punk Kimberly has a comment. The Emotional Scarring of Zach Taylor has a like. The first 2 have a like. Some of those likes are, maybe all of them are me. I don't know. That's definitely a possible scenario. But, you know, enough of trifling about numbers. This is getting a little top heavy. Without further ado, folks, it's time to jump into a legendary storyline. This is our first multi-parter on the show, by the way. So in case you don't know the rules, we've talked about it before, but just to get everybody up to speed, multi-parters, 2-parters, we're going to do them in the same episode no matter what. Even that means only covering one episode beforehand, if that's just how the rotation goes. And as for multi-parters that are greater than 2 parts, 3 parts we do in one go, 4 parts 2 and 2, and 5 parts 2 and 3. And this is, of course, a 5-part epic So we will be covering the first 2 parts today, and the next 3 parts next week. So, folks, without further ado, Green with Evil Part 1, Out of Control. Tell us about it, Crow Royalty.
Next week is going to be our longest episode yet, guys.
Oh my, it can't be. We have to fucking trim the fat. I swear to God, because we have episodes that are 3.5 hours already, and I can't do that. I don't have it in me anymore.
It's gonna be like 5 hours for 3
my
episodes.
Fucking God. Craig has a 6-hour limit, okay? We gotta
do this in 6 hours, but it's gonna be a 5-hour podcast, so it's gonna be fine.
Damn it.
I'm also so glad we're getting this section done before I go to school.
That's true, but I mean,
I start in 2 weeks, and I'm not quite sure how the homework's gonna handle yet, but it should be fine.
It better be fine. You can figure it out.
I will.
But
anyway, so Green with Evil Part 1, written by Gary Glassberg, Cindy McKay, and Mark Ryan. It was directed by
wait,
Robert
were the parts
Hughes.
really written by different people?
Yep.
Because I saw Cheryl Saban in Part 2.
And
I know they're all written by
I don't know what. Originally aired on October 5th, 1993, and I do not know when it re-aired because I'm on IMDb and not the wiki.
Yeah, nobody cares about the re-airing anyway.
I do.
Wait, hold up.
I got it. April 3rd, 2010.
Oh, great. I'm glad that you got that.
I had to switch to the wiki in order to get that date.
Folks, let's just get right into it because we got an action-packed episode today. So we start at the Juice Bar, where the Angel Grove Martial Arts Expo is being held. And there's a man with some staffs of some sort. I imagine you know what those are.
The bow staffs.
Were they bow staffs? They seem too small to be bow staffs.
Well, technically they're quarter staffs, but same thing.
Okay, cool. I knew your weapon nerd knowledge would come in handy. So we see Jason. And he's competing in something for this expo. And Zach and the rest are, hyping him up. Jason thanks his friends, but he's like, I'm going to need all the help I can get. And he points out his competition, and it's a man in green. He's putting on quite the display of spin kicks, folks. And I can't do the being coy about the name thing. It's Tommy fucking Oliver. We're here. It's time. We're fucking here, folks. Tommy,
you can't say that.
Motherfucking Oliver.
Can't say that.
Tommy Oliver.
Can't say that.
Yes, I can. We find it out in 5 seconds. Get fucked.
You gotta wait 5 seconds.
Crow, drop it.
Riely.
Tommy Oliver is here.
It's not Tommy Oliver.
Crow.
It's not Tommy Oliver.
Tommy Oliver is here.
No, it's not Tommy Oliver. It's an undisclosed man in green.
Drop it!
No.
It's Tommy Oliver here.
It's a man in green.
Crow Royalty?
Riely.
Fuck off.
You.
Tommy Oliver is here.
Green wearing undisclosed man.
I'm done. It's over. Podcast over. Fuck you. Get fucked.
You say that literally every episode.
But usually I don't reach for my mouse and hover over stop recording, which I did this time. So you pushed me a little closer to the edge.
Wait, hold on. You tried to press the button?
I did not try to press the button, but I almost did. I picked up my mouse and scrolled my pointer over to the stop recording button. And I hovered my finger over the click button, and I didn't press it, but I got close.
You gotta wait.
No, I'm not waiting. Get fucked. Shut the fuck up. I have the power to server mute you here, and I will server mute you as long as is necessary to continue this point.
You can't have people you can't have people muted or on a podcast.
No, I can server mute you. I can't local mute you for just myself and have other people here also talking to you that can hear you. That's the issue. I can definitely just server mute you in a podcast with just the two of us so I can finish my point. So shut the fuck up. Drop it. I'm not doing it. I'm really mad that you're harping on it this much. No. Get fucked. Yeah. I wrote it down like this. This is how I'm doing it. Shut up.
Tommy, 5 seconds.
Bro! No!
It's 5 seconds.
I don't care. Shut up. Drop it for real. I'm not kidding anymore.
It's 5 seconds.
Bro! No! Oh my
Riely,
god!
what?
Shut up!
You've done this literally every episode.
I don't
What's 5
care!
seconds?
Shut up! Shut your fucking mouth! Shut up! Shut up! Yes and, not no instead! We've been over this a million times! Tommy Oliver is here. Played by the late, great Jason David Frank. God rest his soul. I was just trying to say that. That was all I was trying to say. And Crow Royalty badgered me for 10 minutes before I could. I just want to make that clear, folks. But all joking aside, of course, the very talented, the lovely Jason David Frank, God rest his soul, is here finally to play Tommy Oliver, the Power Rangers character we all remember. My favorite character in the entire franchise. It's happening, folks. So Zach looks upon this marvel of manly karate action and says, "Man, that dude is pumped," and asks who he is. Trini does not know, but she assumes he's a new kid in school. And Kim's like, "Oh, he's really cute." The announcer for the expo says that there's going to be a karate competition between Angel Grove's finest and a new challenger. Obviously referring to Jason and Tommy, of course. Tommy's still doing some epic moves, of course, as he tends to do. Let me cut to Rita's palace. Rita's watching this situation, and she is impressed by Tommy's epic skills. He'll make the perfect Green Ranger, she says. What? What is that? Who is that? Green Ranger? Never heard of him. Who Ranger? Got red, blue, yellow, pink, black. No green. Never heard of a Green Ranger before. Some sort of a Green Ranger. But Goldar agrees that Tommy will be the perfect Green Ranger. Now I just want to let everybody know that I see the little petty bit that Crow's doing. I'll tell you exactly what they're doing right now, folks. So the thing is, they're not saying anything, and they're waiting for me to ask why they're not saying anything, and then their response is going to be, "You told me to shut up." That's what Crow is doing right now, in case you guys didn't notice, folks. That's the bit that they were trying to pull, in case you were confused.
Actually, I just didn't have anything to say about this.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Usually you've interjected with some sort of stupid joke by now.
I don't have anything to say about that point. Like, you're just trying to fucking accuse me of shit. Fuck you.
I listen, I immediately went back on it. I was just doing a bit, but folks. So the announcer, of course, has announced this thing, and now Rita is also watching it, and now wants to make Tommy the Green Ranger. I definitely looked way higher on the notes than I needed to. Rita congratulates herself for being a genius. Goldar, Lunk, and Babu all cheer for her as we cut away. We cut back to the expo, and we're already mid Jason versus Tommy. It's happening, folks. They already have 1 point each, and they're karateing at each other very hard. Jason takes Tommy down with a kick. 1 point Jason. They do some more fighting. They do some epic flips and kicks. Tommy pins Jason to the ground. 1 point Tommy. A bit more fighting, and Tommy pins Jason again and punches him in the chest. Another point Tommy. He's winning now. Then there's, with a display of intense spin kick and punches, Tommy pressures Jason to stepping out of bounds, awarding another point to Tommy. He is now 2 points ahead. The fight then continues very briefly, but Jason knocks Tommy down with a kick, gets himself another point. Time is running out. Zach gets nervous. He's like, "Come on, Jason, come on." Jason then kicks it into overdrive and quickly knocks Tommy over and gets an eye for an eye chest punch to make up for the one that Tommy got earlier. Point Jason, back to a tie. The time runs out. Zach cheers. The ref calls the match as a draw. which it seems like you would have some sort of sudden death situation instead of just saying there's no winner. But Jason,
That's sort of accurate.
what do you mean by that?
They wouldn't hold a sudden death immediately after. They would wait until a couple rounds have passed to try and get the fighters back up to their peak. Sort of.
Then just do a 1 round sudden death?
Pretty much.
After they've recovered?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just to give both an equal fighting chance if they're tied. But if one is just severely outclassing the other one in stamina, then it's kind of hit or miss on whether or not they'll do this.
Okay.
At least the ones I was in.
Were you in karate?
I was. For a decent chunk of my childhood. I've told you this.
Listen, Crow, I don't remember anything that anyone tells me.
You have the memory of a goldfish.
I truly fucking do. It's honestly terrifying.
And for anybody on the internet that wants to say that goldfish have good memories, no the fuck they don't.
Is that like a bit that people do? Well, actually, goldfish have a great memory.
Yeah.
Here's why. I'm a nerd. Pushes glasses.
Yeah. It's obnoxious. So if you do leave a comment on this video, do not leave a comment on that.
Please do. But folks, it's a draw. The ref has Jason and Tommy bow to him and then bow to each other. Then they do one of those like slap handshakes that they do in TV shows, you know, the ones where it's like it's a handshake, but like it's a high five into the handshake. You know the one. You know the one. And Jason says it was a good match. Tommy agrees.
That's an actual thing.
What do you mean?
The handshake thing.
I know.
That's not just a TV show thing, is what I was saying.
I never said it was just a TV show thing.
The way you were describing it was like it was just a TV show thing.
No. But yeah, Jason says he'll see him around and walks back over to his friends. They all commend him about how great he did, but he's a bit bummed that he didn't win. But Trini encourages him, reminds him that in karate, it's the dignity and spirit you compete with that matters. A Jedi needs not these things. Fucking Trini over here. Jason says he knows that, tells them that he's going to catch.
I wonder how Billy's doing in this competition.
Probably not very well. And then
probably getting his ass handed to him.
I don't think he's competing, would be my guess.
No, I hope he's competing.
So Jason's going to catch a quick shower and then meet them up at the bar. Meanwhile, Kim stares wistfully at our new friend, Tommy Boy. Trini turns around to ask if she's coming and sees what she's doing. And then Trini, gets up next to her and she says, he's gorgeous, isn't he? So Kim isn't the only one. Kim's like, yeah, you can say that again.
Keep it in your pants.
No, so she can't. She can't keep it contained.
So it's like you for Punk Kimberly.
True. So true. Not even Punk Kimberly, the Kimberly from Afterward.
I know. But we haven't named that outfit.
Really hot Kimberly.
Nah.
Although we might have a new candidate for really hot Kimberly. Stay tuned. Kim has now been joined by Trini, and she continues to watch lustfully as Tommy wipes himself down with a towel. Trini says that Kim may catch him at school tomorrow, and they head over to the bar. Then we cut to school tomorrow at Hansel Grove High. Kim is at her locker, and she is quickly approached by Bulk and Skull. Skull, in particular, who calls her babe and gets like 1 inch from her face. He asks her if she needs a big, strong man to help her with her books. And Kim turns around with an absolutely masterful, sarcastic smile and says, "Dream on, Skull." It's perfect. Bulk is offended by this response and says it's time to teach her a lesson. Then Tommy steps up to them and intimidatingly says, "Didn't you hear the lady? She said no." And Bulk's like, I think it's time for someone else to be taught a lesson. And then Tommy starts shadow karateing. Like shadow boxing, but with karate though. Like that. And Bulk and Skull are greatly intimidated by this display. Bulk is nervously is like, maybe we'll teach you that lesson some other time, and then they leave. Now, Crow has already heard this rant in private, and I may have even done it before in a podcast, but I would be remiss to not mention it on the podcast covering this episode of Megazord Radio, of Power Rangers. So this scene right here, the scene I just described, perfectly introduces you to the character of Tommy Oliver, okay? 3 primary tenets of Tommy Oliver. He's noble. He's willing to protect the innocent at a moment's notice. This is proven by him stepping in to help Kim. The second tenet, he would never hurt a fly if he didn't need to. And this is, of course, proven by the fact that he does not actually touch Bulk and Skull even at all, a little bit. And finally, he's
I'm gonna disprove that second point in the next episode.
In the next episode, he has an evil spell placed upon him. That doesn't count.
It's still him, it's still him being...
Shut the fuck up. This doesn't count. Anyway,
so violent towards people.
The third tenet is that he's a little bit of a goofball, and that is definitely proven by his big showy fucking shadow karate display, which is pretty fucking silly, despite being awesome. So basically this scene is perfect. It sets the stage for my favorite character in Power Rangers in a perfect way. And Durant. There you go. Those are my strong feelings on this particular scene in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So Kim smiles and giggles and thanks her rescuer. Tommy is happy to help. He starts to walk away, but Kim stops him and introduces herself. She says, "You're new around here, aren't you?" And he is. He introduces himself, and they shake hands. Then Kim invites Tommy to hang with her and her friends at the juice bar, which I thought meant the other Power Rangers, but as we will find out later, didn't. So maybe it's the deaf chick and the other chick from that episode. Oh, shit. I dropped something. I'll deal with it later. So Tommy agrees. There's a bit more teenage hormone awkwardness. And then Tommy says he'll see her later and walks away. Kim is crushing hard. Then we cut to Rita's.
Kim, keep it in your pants.
She can't. I couldn't.
She needs to.
If I had to be around Tommy Oliver. We cut to Rita's. She's calling upon the power of the 6 power coin with an evil spell. Rita plans to have Tommy face her putties in a test. So we cut to Tommy. He's walking with some random kids from school. But he says goodbye to them and then splits off on his own. At which point he steps into an alley. And in this alley here, he's ambushed by putties. Uh-oh. A putty is the first to attack, but immediately after it makes contact, Tommy attacks back with great fierceness. He is overwhelmed. Great ferocity, of course. He's overwhelmed by his opponents, but he puts up a fight. Eventually, he utilizes a trash can lid as both a shield and a weapon, and he starts to...
Captain fucking America.
That's right. And then eventually, with an epic throw of the lid, much like a Captain America shield throw, he finishes off the final putty, and he has bested his attackers.
Wait, actually, he's Captain fucking Dragon Ranger.
Shut up. Tommy looks around confusedly, wonders, why me? Then we cut to Rita. She is satisfied with the performance, and she knows now that Tommy is the right choice for her evil Green Ranger. She does some lightning magic with her wand. Then she tells her crystal ball to prepare to receive him. We then cut to Tommy, who is talking to himself about how this seems like a bad dream, as he picks up and puts on his backpack that he dropped earlier. Then suddenly an intense wind starts, and this distresses Tommy. Rita calls to him from a rooftop. He looks up. She says she's chosen him, and he screams, "No!" as she zaps him with her wand, and he is sent away. Then we cut back to the palace. Rita is looking through her crystal ball and sees definitely not an unrelated Japanese man. He is encased in some sort of spiderweb type substance. She starts doing some evil spell chants to empower, this definitely not just an unrelated Japanese man. And he rises with a green glow, which obscures his exact appearance. Of course, it is Tommy, and that was, of course, the case the whole time, as we see his eyes briefly glow with evil. It was Tommy the whole time, guys. No unrelated Japanese men were involved in this scene. He says in a droning, mind-controlled voice, "How can I serve my Empress?" Rita says that since he will be the Green Ranger, he can access the command center, and he's got to go there, disable Zordon, and then destroy the Power Rangers. And she gives them the rundown. She's like, the Red Ranger's Jason, Blue Ranger's Billy, etc., etc. Rita gives him the 6 power coin, the Dragon Power coin, with a nice big dragon footprint. Then we cut to the command center. Alpha's being fussy. Zordon.
Alpha's always fussy.
He is always fussy, it's true. Zordon tells him to please take the time to recharge as he places himself into a meditative state. Alpha agrees, says Zordon's right. Then, back at Evil Town, Rita tells Tommy to morph into the Green Ranger, and without a proper morphing sequence, just a green puff of smoke, Tommy morphs, and oh my lord, does the American Dragon Shield look fucking awful.
Yep.
But, other than that, Green Ranger's rad, and we'll soon see him in all of his Sentai footage glory very soon. Tommy determinedly chants, "To the fall of Zordon and the destruction of the Power Rangers!" And then he teleports to the command center. Rita is speaking in his brain and says, "You know what to do." When Tommy says, "As you command, my Empress," and starts skulking around the command center, he walks over to Alpha and puts a disc in his back. This does wake Alpha up. The alarm starts and he screams, "Alert, alert, hostile takeover, ah!" And then Tommy says, "Sweet dreams, Tinhead," and pulls his charger wire, which immediately turns him off for some reason. Zordon wakes up from his meditative state, which definitely was not just a nap, and questions how he's here, because only one with a power coin can enter undetected.
Alright, now I got a question.
Sure.
How the fuck is Alpha in that command center?
What are you talking about?
Alpha don't got no power coin?
Yeah, but he's in there.
But how to...
Ready.
If only someone with a power coin can enter the command center, how the fuck does he get in and out?
Only someone with a power coin can enter undetected. Anybody can be brought into the command center, if they so choose that to be the case. But only those with power coins can just, go there whenever.
So does that mean that Jason, Trini, Kimberly, Zach, and Billy can just come and go without being detected?
Yes. That is what it means.
Wait, is that why... Hold up, that's why Alpha thought that they were evil people when they first showed up in the Rad Bug.
Yeah.
Continuity. It doesn't exist for long.
No.
Not at all.
So Tommy declares that he has the coin and the power, and that there's nothing Zordon can do to stop him. Zordon apparently knew this could happen the whole time, and just did not think to mention that, hey, Rita can do a Power Ranger if she wants. He didn't think to say that. He's so faced now with the evil Green Ranger. He just says, "So Rita finally found someone to give it to." Tommy says that he's Rita's Green Ranger and Rita is his queen. Simp. Zordon knows that he's Tommy.
Hey, that's Kimberly this episode.
That's true. Zordon knows that he's Tommy, says he's under an evil spell, and implores him to let him help him and save him. Tommy tells him to worry about saving himself, and then just starts tearing all the computer panels up, just really fucking him up. Zordon yells for him to stop, yells for Alpha to wake up, but ultimately he fades from his tube, losing contact with this dimension. Zordon is gone.
Zordon died, guys. We're not going to see him anymore.
He's never coming back.
Never again.
Tommy laughs evilly. He tells Rita that Zordon has been eliminated and that the Rangers are next, and then he teleports away. We cut to Rita. She's very happy. She says that now she has an even bigger surprise. And then we cut to Lunk, Babu, and Goldar. They're on Earth. and Lunk is very excited that Rita's winning. Goldar says that he's ready, and then Rita makes her Goldar grow. Now Giant Goldar, he's there, and he's yelling about how he's going to kill the Power Rangers and stuff. And then we cut to said Rangers, the boy ones at least. They're hanging out, they're washing the rad bug out in Billy's driveway, which I don't know if it's happened yet. It might be in the later parts, but folks, I do regret to inform you that Green with Evil is the swan song of the rad bug.
Yeah.
There's no more rad bug after Green with Evil.
Well, no, there is one more appearance.
That's the rad bug 2. Different.
Still the rad bug.
No, it's the rad bug 2. That's like you look at a PlayStation 2 and you say that's still the PlayStation. No, it's the PlayStation 2.
It is still a PlayStation.
But it's not still the rad bug. It's a rad bug. It's the rad bug 2. So anyway, Billy says he's never seen the rad bug this clean. Zach says it'll be styling with the Zax wax. And then immediately Jason says what we're all thinking. Zax wax? What are you talking about?
It's Zach's wax. He made the wax himself. He made the wax himself.
Custom wax recipe from Zach Taylor.
Which, given he's a teenager...
probably doesn't work out well.
No. That's not at all what I was thinking.
No, I know what you're saying, too. Jason throws a towel at him playfully. Zach retaliates.
Let's hope that's not the same kind of towel.
Don't forget your tear!
But let's hope it's not the same towel, at least.
Wait, what?
I said, let's hope it's not the same towel.
What is this bit? I think we have I thought I knew what joke you were making, but it seems like there's some sort of disconnect here, I think.
No, it's the same joke.
What does a towel have to do with it, then?
What do socks have to do with it?
So you weren't making the same joke.
No, I was making the same joke, but...
You don't even know what joke I think you're making! Why are you
joke.
insisting that it's the same one?
I expanded on the same joke.
What joke? Explain the joke.
Okay. Teenagers.
Yep.
What do they do a lot? By themselves.
There's a lot of answers to that.
By themselves.
There's a lot of answers to that. I'm not competing on a game show, Crow Royalty. What's the answer?
Zach's wax.
Okay.
Think about it.
Okay, now I think I get it, and I realize that the joke was completely awful and stupid. And
you yelling about it made it worse, though.
It made it worse because I needed you to explain it, because I realized, because I had an actual... I thought the observation you were making is that since he's a teenage boy making his own wax, that wax was dab wax, like a marijuana. I thought that was the joke.
That is not.
I thought about that, and I was like, that's kind of funny and clever. I'm glad that Crow Royalty was on the same wavelength. And then you said something about a towel, and I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? So I needed clarification. I didn't realize I had a better joke than you, or I would have just said my joke. But I thought we were in the same place. And I thought that anybody would reach the same conclusion, so I just let it be vague. But
you didn't get on the same wavelength. I thought we were on the same wavelength because I always make those jokes.
They're bad. You need to stop.
No, I will not stop.
Zach and Jason have a towel fight. The girls show up and everybody greets them. Zach says with a smile that they're just in time. Grab a rag and join in. And he offers one to Kim. Kim dejectedly says she is not in the mood. Zach asks what's wrong. Trini just says, Tommy? Jason asks if she means the guy he fought in the competition. Kim says yeah, and explains that he was supposed to meet her at the juice bar, and he never showed. Zach shrugs, and he says something could have come up, you know? Then suddenly Jason receives a call on his communicator, and everybody gathers around as he answers it. It's Alpha, but he's all crazy. He's talking all crazy and glitchy, and you can't understand him. Jason's like, Alpha, you're breaking up. Then Billy...
Yeah, he's breaking up with Zordon.
Shut up. Billy says the communicators are down, as well as teleportation. Uh-oh. They realize something is obviously wrong. Jason says they have to get to the command center. Billy suggests that they take the rad bug. Zach says the thing, and they board our favorite flying car.
What does he say?
What does he say, Crow?
What does he say, Riely?
What does he say?
What does he say?
I want to know if you know what he says.
I want to know if you actually wrote it down or not.
I didn't. I literally wrote down the tagline because it's so obvious to me. I know exactly what he said. What did you say?
I'm disappointed in you for not actively putting in the best tagline in the show.
Well, that's the thing, is that it's such an iconic tagline that I didn't even have to write it down. It's just like he says.
I know, but you couldn't even like fill in the blanks.
Shut up.
No, say it.
You say it.
You say it.
You say it, or it's not going to get said.
You say it.
So Zach
Because he
tells
says it
everybody,
like 3 times in this episode, and I don't want you to have written down the tagline every single time.
well, Crow, I have some bad news for you.
Say it.
So Zach says to buckle
Riely.
up. Of
say
course,
it.
because this is a kid's
Riely.
show. So they have to
Riely.
remind you of seatbelt safety.
Riely.
They get up in the air as they
The
fly.
Riely.
He says Alpha sounded
Say
upset.
it.
Jason agrees. He assumes something bad is going down. Kim
God.
bets Rita's up to something, which is the safest bet ever made on the history of the planet.
And the only bet ever made on the history of the planet.
True.
Because Rita's always up to something. Now say the damn line.
So Zach asks if they can go any faster. Billy just says, all right. And then they go real fast. And everybody's like, whoa! Whoa! Then they land in the command center. They disembark. And they look around. It's trashed. Everything's all fucked up. Jason's shocked. Trini says the control panels have been ripped out. Kim points out that Zordon is nowhere to be found. They run over to Alpha. Billy asks what happens. But Alpha's like dancing around, and he's all talking glitchy still. Zach's like, what's wrong with him? And Billy's like, somebody must have put a virus in his databanks. And then, so Trini asks if Billy can help him. And then Billy just takes the virus disk out of Alpha's back immediately before he even responds and just says, affirmative. And I don't know if he meant that to be funny, but it was very funny. Like, can you fix it? Just does the thing to fix it immediately. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I can.
So Alpha snaps back to normal. He greets the Rangers. And Zach's like, who did this to you? Where's Zordon? And Alpha's like, my memory chips are scrambled. I don't know. I was barely able to contact you.
No telling who did this, guys.
Who could have possibly done this?
Who could have possibly done this?
So Jason says that someone must have broken in. Trini asks who, and points out that no one can get in without a power coin.
See?
Well, without a power coin undetected. Anybody who is not a Power Ranger has to be let into the command center. Power Rangers can just go there. That is how it works. So Kim
This implies differently. Also, wait.
This doesn't imply differently because Zordon and Alpha are there 100% of the time. So nobody could have gotten in the command center under their watch unless they had a power coin that allowed them to enter without permission.
But here's the other part, okay?
Yeah?
How does Goldar get in later?
He goes through the tunnels to get past the force field.
The fuck?
Do you not remember that? There's like a whole... During the entirety of Alien Rangers, basically, Goldar and Rito are just walking underground in like the underground labyrinth under the command center, lost, not knowing where to go. That was like the arc for half of Alien Rangers. It's fucking
I did not actively
Goldar and Rito fucking spelunking underground in the command center, trying to get up there so they can put the bomb there, but they don't know where they're going.
Hey, Riely.
Yeah?
When did I pay attention to Alien Ranger?
I mean, there's some good stuff in there.
I don't even,
Surrounded by a lot of bad stuff.
still probably not the worst season.
I mean, Lost Galaxy does exist. Well, no, I won't be that mean. If Alien Rangers counts as its own season, it's worse than Lost Galaxy, but I don't count it that way.
You just counted as season 3 of Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, I just counted it as part of season 3. But anyway, so Kim sees something in the viewing globe. She tells the others to look at it. It's Goldar. He's giant. He's stomping around. Jason's like, we have to stop him! And he asks Alpha if he'll be okay. Alpha says that he's semi-operational and he will try to locate Zordon while they deal with Goldar. And folks, it's morphin' time. The Rangers arrive. They've got their blade mode blade blasters in hand. Lunk calls for the Putty Patrol. They show up, and then the Rangers start beating the shit out of them like they always do. Meanwhile, Goldar's just like stomping around and stuff, just having fun. The Green Ranger's watching from an elevated position, quietly celebrating the beginning of the end for the Rangers. Lunk cheers for Goldar to get them, but Goldar is being a little lazy right now, I guess, because he just yells for the Putties to get them. The Putties are doing about as poorly as you would expect. Epic Blade Blaster moves aplenty. Goldar busts up some rocks.
Hey, question real quick. Are there 2 different types of Putty Patrollers?
Kind of.
Explain.
So, there are 2 different types of whatever they're called in Jew Ranger, but the American staff only got suits for one of them. So that's why it seems weird that there are 2 types of putties to us, because all the American footage only features that one type of putty. But the like rock golem-y putties are just like another type of putty that exists in Jew Ranger, and sometimes they're in Power Rangers footage because it's Jew Ranger footage, and they just don't really talk about it.
Okay, then.
There's also super putties later.
Well, super putties are different.
Yeah.
Super putties are Z putties.
No, that's not what I'm talking about at all.
The fuck are you talking about then?
Super putties, not Z putties.
Only
super putties.
Other putties I know are Z putties.
Rita has a legion of good putties called super putties.
Oh, so they're good guys?
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
You said they're good putties. So they're good guys. They side with the Power
Folks, I've been serious every time when I said I was looking for a new co-host. Nobody's bitten yet, which is why I have to keep dealing with this day over here. Please send in your application in the comment section below. I would really appreciate anyone else.
You're not getting a new co-host anytime soon.
I'll ask Jack. We'll do it on fucking Saturday mornings. It'll be great.
When are you going to put the episodes out?
Still Sunday. I'll just edit them that day.
On top of the other 2 podcasts you record on Saturdays?
When I edit, this is one of the shows that I literally just have to cut the silence and put the song at the end. Like, there's no transitions. I'm not paid to make it, so I don't go through and cut out every breath like I do with the MoCast, because I have some sick desire to earn my $20, even though I would probably receive it just for the same amount of work I always put in, which is next to nothing. But I feel some strange sense of duty. But no, this show, I just truncate the silence, reduce the noise, put in the outro music, and ship it out. It doesn't take that long.
Okay.
Pisses me off that we can't have our intro music because it got fucking copyright claimed.
Wait, we got copyright claimed?
Not like, yes, but not like the video got taken down. Copyright claimed, like, a copyright claim doesn't necessarily take your video down. It just makes it so that the owner of the copyrighted material would receive any money that you would receive from monetization if you were monetized. And the Invincible, the song from Power Rangers,
got copyrighted.
Got copyrighted, yes.
Oh, so we don't get money from any of the episodes we do?
Just the first one. I stopped using that after the first one, and they got copyright claimed. The only thing I use now is the instrumental of Go Go Power Rangers, which does not get claimed, and that's the outro song.
Do we need a different song?
No, because it doesn't get claimed, like I just said.
No, I mean, do we need another intro song?
No, we don't need an intro song.
Because I have one, I think.
We don't need an intro song. It's fine.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. What's up, Dad?
Nah.
Anyway, so
Go Green
no, we don't know about the song yet. The song doesn't come in until the next round.
I watched like all 5 episodes today, not thinking.
Dumbass.
So I don't remember what episode that show or that song came in.
That song does not come in until. When I said next round, I mean next time that the Green Ranger happens.
How many episodes did I watch today? Because I remember listening to that song in an episode today.
Unless you watched like almost the entire season, or you just watched like Return of an Old Friend separately for no reason.
I just clicked on the next episodes, like whatever showed up next, so that might have been what was playing.
You didn't question it when suddenly
No.
Tommy was gone and coming back?
No,
even though you just watched Green with Evil where he joined for the first time.
I wasn't questioning it. I was kind of out of it at that point. I was just watching to watch. I wasn't paying attention to what was going on. Kind of stopped after episode 3 of Green with Evil.
Anyway, now that the putties are defeated, Jason turns his attention to Goldar, and they call the Zords up. They board. They have a quick little roll call. They power up their crystals. It's Megazord time. Immediate man mode. Immediate power sword. And then Goldar and Megazord, they start sword fighting. Then Goldar does a big double flying kick. It seems to hit pretty hard. He also does some wacky flips for, I think, no reason at all. I do not think any tactical advantage was provided by the wacky flips that Goldar did, but he did do them. He yells about Rita's wrath, and they continue to fight. The Rangers spot the Green Ranger and wonder who he is, and it's his time, folks. It's his time for act. Time before act? Good job, Riely.
Yep, time for act.
Time for act, folks.
That's what Riley's good at, act.
And it's time for the Power Rangers to meet the Green Ranger. He boards the Megazord. He says, "Long live Empress Rita!" And then, in a horrifying display of domestic violence, punches Trini into the Megazord console.
Yep.
Which causes it to spark. Megazord is sparking from the inside out. Then the Rangers are ejected. Tommy jumps down after them and immediately starts to fight them. He's making quick work. Rita cheers. Tommy steals Kim's Blade Blaster and starts using it himself on her and Zack. Just absolutely brutalizing everyone. And then Jason steps up with maybe the most main protagonist energy he's ever displayed so far and says, "You think you're so tough? Take me on!" Tommy is happy to oblige and immediately punches him devastatingly. And our boys start to clash. They're even for a minute, it seems. They're going blow for blow, but then Tommy knocks Jason back. As the other Rangers run to Jason's side to check if he's okay, Tommy blasts them all with his fireball attack, which I don't know if he ever uses again. And if he doesn't, why not?
Hadouken!
This is a really cool attack, and I don't know if it ever shows up again.
It's just the Hadouken.
Yeah, it's the Green Ranger Hadouken. So all the Rangers spark and they fall down. Then Tommy does an evil laugh and we cut away. We cut to the command center where Alpha's freaking out. You know, all that good stuff. He can't get Zordon back. He's sad about that. The Rangers teleport back in. They're unmorphed. Jason addresses Alpha. Alpha tells them that he has not been able to get Zordon back. Jason tells him to keep trying because they need answers and they need them now. And Kim says that a guy in a green costume attacked them and trashed their Zords.
Wait, does Alpha not know about the Green Ranger?
No, because his memory chips are fried. We had a whole thing that
But
established
no,
that.
what I mean is, like, wouldn't he know Ryer since he knows Zordon?
No, because back when the Green Ranger that was Alpha 4.
Okay, then.
So yeah, Alpha does not know who that was, but then he starts glitching again. Oh no! Billy takes a look and he says he is not fully recovered from the virus. Alpha's quasitronic circuits are overloading, so he will now temporarily shut down, and he does that. Everybody's distressed about the Green Ranger and the state of affairs. Jason says that they'll have to prepare themselves to face this threat without Zordon, and they've only made it through round 1 of what he assumes will be a major battle. Zach points out the viewing globe, and the other Rangers take a look. They see the Green Ranger laughing evilly and saying he'll destroy the Power Rangers. And that is where we end with the to be continued, folks. Part 1 of fucking Green with Evil. Now, just to let you know another aspect about our multi-part episodes. There will be no ranking occurring in this particular episode because multi-parters are ranked as a cohesive unit. However, we will declare a favorite character and favorite scene for each individual part. So we're just skipping the ranking segment this time and then ranking the episode as a whole thing next time. But folks, Crow Royalty specifically, not all the folks, just Crow Royalty, just one folk. Who is your favorite character?
Zach.
Okay, but why?
Because of the thing you refuse to say.
Fuck you. Who's your favorite character?
Zach.
No, it's not.
Like,
You're
actually.
fucking with me on purpose.
No, like, actually, I like Zach this episode.
Why?
I just like Zach.
But, like, what did Zach do specifically in this episode that made him your favorite character in the episode?
Be a good friend.
Did he do that in particular in this episode?
Yeah.
In episode 2, I guess that's kind of spoilers for later, but, like, in episode 2, I could see there being Zach is a good friend material, but in this one, I don't think
Zach
there's
is
much.
a good friend in, like, both episodes that we're covering in this.
What did Zach do in this episode that was being
The
a good
start
friend?
Of the episode. During the fight.
Yeah.
He's
I guess,
cheering
yeah,
for
he's
Jason.
cheering for Jason, sure. But
That's
so is
good
everyone
friend.
else.
But that's good friend material.
Sure it is, but, like, what did Zach do in particular?
Let me finish.
Okay.
God damn, you get mad at me for interrupting you, and then you steady fucking interrupting me. Let me finish. Then we cut to what is it? The Radbug washing scene thing. And as much as I made dirty jokes about that scene, very good friend, very good.
But,
and then
like,
I might have also
Jason was there too.
But then I'm also saving Jason as my favorite character for a reason, and I don't want to say him twice in a row.
I mean, the answer I give now might be the answer I give 5 times in a row. So, in fact, infinity times in a row.
Yours is just always going to be Tommy.
No, that's not true. I can objectively not pick Tommy in cases where I feel like another character deserves it. But here in this case, in his intro episode, I think the introduction of the character was absolutely perfect. I went over the whole 3 tenants situation. I like, obviously, the introduction of the evil Green Ranger as well. I really like Tommy as a villain. That will shine more next episode, but it was present in this episode as well. I think for many reasons, a wealth of reasons, in this episode in particular, 100%, my favorite character is Tommy. I'm still confused why yours is Zach, because everything Zach did, somebody else also did. Every
Zach.
But, like, why in this
like
episode,
Zach,
though?
because
you like Zach because it's one of your favorite characters in general. But who was your favorite character in this episode?
Still Zach, because I kind of hyperfixated on Zach in this episode, and that's kind of the entire reason.
That's really weird.
I don't know why. I
It's
just
like
kind of
I could see
on Zach.
next episode. I could see an argument for like 7 different characters, of which Zach is one. But this episode, I
What
feel
other
like
characters aside from Jason, Tommy, and Zach would there be in the next episode?
Goldar has a pretty good performance.
Well, yeah,
And that's about it. I exaggerated with 7. The real number was 4. Well, I mean, Kim too probably has some material.
Kim is better in a different episode. It's not Kim. I didn't like Jason as much in this episode. Tommy's introduction is good, but it's not favorite character in an episode type thing for me.
Okay, sure.
So, yeah, it's Zach. Hell, I would probably give it to Rita. But
are you sticking with Zach, or are you saying Rita?
I'm saying Zach still, but Rita's a bitch.
Okay.
That's the reason she doesn't get it.
Favorite scene? Obviously, the Vulcan Skull Locker scene, 3 Tenants. Like, I did a whole rant about it, obviously. What about you?
Car washing scene.
Yeah, that's pretty good, too. That's good kid content, for sure. But, folks, now we gotta talk about
Now we're on
Green
to the best episode of Green with Evil, guys.
You're wrong. But
no,
okay.
You're wrong.
Green with Evil
wrong.
Part 2, Jason's Battle. Tell us
We're on to the literal best episode of Green with Evil, and you can fight me on that.
Why? This is a transitional episode. Nothing of substance happens.
Best episode. A lot happens, actually.
Everything that starts in this episode has its climax later. There's no climaxes in Green with Evil Part 2.
Yeah, because it's in the middle of a fucking multi-parter.
But it's not the best one because it's in the middle of a multi-parter, and those are never the best ones.
Because it has the best fucking content.
The content, I agree. I feel like I agree with you on the content that you're describing, but I feel like that content, the way that it climaxes next part, is more impactful to me than it is in this part. This is a very transitional part of Green with Evil, and it shocks me that you're so insistent that this is the best one when it really only exists to set up better shit for the next couple.
This is still like my favorite episode of Green with Evil, and it was before I rewatched it.
So you had some sort of inherent bias, and were not willing to revisit that when you watched it again.
I watched through all of it again just to double check why it was my favorite episode. And yes, it is my favorite episode of Green with Evil still.
Well, we're not shy about spoilers on this show, so I guess it doesn't matter that we're talking about some shit early. Why?
Zach Morph Call. Fucking Zach doing or helping Kimberly in the rad bug by themselves.
Okay, because you're hyper fixated on Zach. Okay.
No, I've got more shit.
Okay, so tell me more.
It's just like the 2 first things. I wasn't done. Jason getting captured by Tommy after doing something friendly, and then proceeding to not only fucking fist fight Goldar multiple times, get his morpher stolen.
That's the thing, right? I knew you were talking about that, but
show.
But that has better content next episode. Like that,
I like this.
It gets set up in this episode, but next episode, the Jason and Goldar thing gets real.
And then you've got Tommy doing really fucking good as an evil character.
You're very right. Well, okay, let's talk about this episode, because that part I definitely agree.
Because there's a lot of reasons why this is my favorite episode of Green with Evil.
I think my favorite episode will always be part 5, but that's
part of that. Part 5, because he turns good. Yeah, duh.
Well, yeah, but like also it's the climax of the story. Like it reaches its end.
But
and I like how it ends.
I like middle parts more than I do, or like ends of stories most of the time. And this is one of those times.
I feel like part 2 is always pretty subpar in multi-parters that are greater than 2 parts. Especially 3-parters. But I feel like it extends to 4 and 5-parters as well.
Hey, want to know like another movie franchise where part 2 is better than part 1 and most likely going to be better than part 3?
I mean, I imagine if I say no, you're gonna say it anyway, so I might as well just let you.
Across the Spider-Verse.
I don't believe you for a
Yes.
second.
Yes. Absolutely. And I'm not getting into that because neither of us have done an episode on that, so I have actual things that I want to talk about with that.
Yeah, we did
But-
the original Spider-Verse on Issue Crew Movie Reviews, so we should probably do Across as well. It's coming out soon, right? On, like,
Across is
digital.
already out.
On digital. You
I don't know what it would be on
bucko.
digital on, but yeah, probably.
Probably like to rent on Vudu.
Probably.
I know you can already buy it in some places, but they need to roll it out for rent soon because I'm not paying $20 for it.
Yep.
But folks, let's talk about Green with Evil Part 2, Jason's Battle. First of all, Tommy is in the opening credits now, so that's cool. Also, there's
Hey,
a
hold
certain...
on, I didn't say the thing.
What thing?
The writers and stuff.
Oh shit, you're right. Go ahead.
So slow the fuck down, you fucking speedrunning bitch.
I want to speedrun because I would like to be in bed by 11 would be the ideal thing.
Okay, this episode is written by Cheryl Saban, Stuart St. John, Tom Weiner, and directed by Robert Hughes. Originally came out on October 6th of 1993, then re-released on April 10th of, what was it, 2010? I'm having to do math for this one, yeah.
What?
Because the wiki that has all the air dates doesn't have all of them. On the re-releases, it has April 3rd, 2010 through June 5th, 2010, but it's got a dash instead of the other numbers.
Wait, how does that math work out? I don't think it does.
1 week from April 3rd.
No, but I mean, if it ends at June 15th or whatever the fuck you just
June
said, I don't
5th.
think that works.
5th.
Okay, but I don't think that works though.
First episode is on the 3rd.
Yep.
Second, which is the start of the month.
Second is the 10th.
Second is the 10th. Third
would be the 17th.
17th.
Fourth would be the 24th.
24th.
And
what the
fifth
fuck?
would be the 31st or the 1st if there's not a 31st. But either way, that does not work out.
Why the fuck? When the fuck did this re-release?
Who cares?
Me.
Why?
Because.
Yeah. You said the first word of the sentence. Now say more.
Hold on.
5-second countdown. 5.
Hold the fuck on. I'm trying
4,
to get the
3.
re-release date because
no
Google's
one
being stupid.
fucking cares.
I do.
5.
Riely,
4,
shut up.
3.
Why
2,
won't it give me the re-release date?
1. So anyway, also Dragonzord is in the theme song now, which spoilers, Saban, come on. But anyway, we start at the command center. Jason is looking over the damage. He's really mad. He wants to beat up the Green Ranger. He's got a lot of roid rage in him today. There's a lot of anger in Jason's heart. Kim says that they can't find Zordon. Zach says that without Zordon, they have no clue who the green guy is, and that's a problem. Kim looks over the damage, and she says, whoever broke in here knew exactly what to do. Now, hey, Kim, what? He trashed everything! Any monkey could have come in there and broken all the computers!
Yeah, Goldar could have done it.
Exactly, a monkey. Kim has a point about the virus on the disc, I guess, but, I still take issue with how she's saying this. But Billy's doing some welding in Alpha's circuits. He's trying to fix him. Trini's watching closely, and she's like, poor Alpha. Jason asks if Billy has made any progress. Billy says he's doing his best, but he isn't familiar with the circuitry. But guys, don't worry. He has yet to try the subatomic manipulator. It's okay, guys. Trini says to be careful not to hurt him. Billy assures her that he can't feel anything. Billy also adds that even if they get him working, there's no telling what his memory situation will be. But suddenly, Alpha springs up. Billy's happy about this. Alpha comes too. He calls Billy and Trini Dude and Dudette because it's the 90s. Everyone's very happy. Kim commends Billy. Jason is not. He's actually a little doomy and gloomy, and he says they still have to figure out how to get Zordon back and figure out what's up with that Green Ranger dude, you know? We cut to Rita. She's evilly laughing, and she's like, I'm gonna do phase 2 of my plan, my evil plan. She's like, it's time to call my Green Ranger. And Goldar's like, what if we give him the Sword of Darkness first, though? And Rita's like, yeah, that'd be a cool thing to do. Hey, Finster.
Let's give him the Sword of Damocles.
Jesus. And Finster's like, yeah. And Rita's like, yeah, I want to give him the Sword of Darkness. You remember that? And then Finster's like, yes, I do remember that. It was once wielded by the knights who defeated Zordon many years ago. And the knight in question is just Nasty Knight from Happy Birthday, Zach.
You wrote that wrong.
What?
It was wielded by Zordon and stolen by Nasty Knight.
That is not what they said.
Yeah, check the wiki. I was looking at it earlier because I thought I heard it wrong.
I don't care what the fucking wiki said. I rewinded that part 10 times because of the exact confusion. I heard what he said. That is not what he said.
Hold on. I will play the clip right now. Hold on. I'm fast forwarding the episode. And then I got an ad. What the fuck? What the fuck, YouTube?
He said it was used by the knight.
No, it was used.
Zordon.
It was stolen. It was stolen by the knight.
I don't think they said the word stolen. I think they said the word used. If you think I or the audience can hear that, you're tripping.
He literally says, when your evil knight defeated Zordon thousands of years ago, it was taken from him and presented to you as a gift. Those are his exact words.
Are you sure? I believe...
I will rewind it so that I can listen to it.
Rewind it and say the exact thing that Finster is saying. Every word, exactly.
When your evil knight defeated Zordon's soldiers thousands of years ago, it was taken from him and presented to you as a prize.
It was taken. He defeated. It didn't say he defeated Zordon.
Zordon's soldiers.
It said he defeated Zordon's soldiers. And then the sword was taken from him. And the only individual him in this situation, where it's Zordon's soldiers and not Zordon, is the knight. It was
Riely.
Taken from him.
Riely.
Yes.
Who would be leading the soldiers?
It was not mentioned that Zordon was there. If he had defeated Zordon, it would have said he had defeated Zordon.
Because this is the same footage where it was saying that he defeated Zordon, like, I don't fucking know, in Happy Birthday Zach or something. But
that actually had nothing to do with Zordon. They just used the same stock footage here for no reason.
Yeah, they used the same stock footage because he was using the power axe. But it's saying that he defeated Zordon because Zordon wielded this sword and then was corrupted to darkness.
Why is it the Sword of Darkness if Zordon had the sword?
Because it got corrupted. Because Rita's a dummy.
I believe how it was phrased implies.
No,
that
because why would Rita have it if it was taken from Nasty Knight?
It was taken from Nasty Knight because he used the sword, he defeated the soldiers, his job was done, and now Rita just wants a cool toy.
No, that's not how it fucking works.
It's given to her as like, you are my queen. I present to you my blade in recognition that you are my queen.
That's not how it worked.
I don't know.
You're wrong. You're just physically wrong.
Ranger Wiki's written by fans. It's not gospel.
The Sword of Darkness was a sword. Okay, that's talking about Tommy. The sword initially belonged to Zordon, but 10,000 years ago it was stolen from him by Nasty Knight after he defeated Zordon's soldiers in battle.
It's
he
not
presented
gospel.
the sword to Rita as a prize.
This is all assumptive.
No, it's literally what Finster fucking says.
The words that he says are Nasty Night.
Because you're being too picky about what you're listening to, Riely.
Yeah, I know what Finster said.
You're being too
And the
picky about
way
it.
he said it implies
That it belonged to
the
Zordon and
sword
was stolen from
belongs
him when
to
Zordon was
the
leading his
knight.
soldiers. Because who else would be leading the soldiers?
Hey, when our soldiers go out, is Joe Biden leading them on the battlefield? No. Same case.
Those aren't Joe Biden's soldiers. Those are the soldiers of the U.S. military.
He's the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military because he's the president. That doesn't mean he's on the field.
Yeah, but he's also doing other fucking shit. And a lot of
Zordon is the
presidents have been
commander-in-chief of
soldiers.
his army.
And a lot of presidents have actually been soldiers and led people on the battlefield.
You know what I'm saying is correct, and you know that these little pedantic things that you're saying don't change that.
No, you are fucking wrong.
No, not about the night thing, just about the analogy that I was making.
The night thing you are just physically fucking wrong about.
I think it was his sword.
No, it was Zordon's
I think
sword.
the sword belonged to Mr. Evil Nightman.
No.
And then he gave it to Rita as a trophy.
No, it was Zordon's sword. You're just wrong.
I don't know.
I would have
to see an official source on this.
Who are you gonna fucking ask about this?
Haim Saban.
Haim Saban is probably gonna say that it was Zordon's sword.
Who wrote this episode?
It was written by Cheryl Saban, his wife.
Yep. Who else? I know there's more.
There
were 3 names.
St. John and
Stuart
Tom
St.
Weiner.
John, Stuart St. John.
Who was probably related to Austin St. John.
Award-winning TV writer. Okay, this is him. His DMs aren't open. Shit. Okay.
You're really gonna DM somebody about this?
Saban.
You're really gonna DM somebody about this? Over something from 30 years ago.
Cheryl Saban's DMs are not open. Who was the other guy?
Tom Weiner.
How's a Weiner spelled?
Wyner.
Tom Weiner. Okay, I see Ranger Danger tweeting about him, so I guess he's done something in the Power Rangers community since writing Green with Evil Part 2. But he does not seem to have a Twitter, though. So, unfortunate situation. Who directed it?
Robert Hughes directed all 5 parts.
Robert Hughes. Yeah, I'm not. The Robert Hughes is too generic. There's too many Robert Hughes. Unfortunately, I will not be able to reach out for an answer regarding this situation to anybody.
Yeah, because we're definitely gonna get Haim Saban on this fucking show.
I didn't want them on the show. I just wanted to DM them and get an answer.
The DM would be read on the show.
Well, of course it would.
So they would be partially on the show.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be like on the show. So anyway, regardless of the lore of this fucking sword, Finster says that shit. And he also says that the sword has the power to keep Tommy under Rita's spell forever, as long as the sword isn't destroyed. I wonder what might happen. Which is a fact that Zordon knows, which is a potential problem. But Rita reminds him that Zordon is gone and laughs evilly. Then we cut to the alley where Tommy was taken. And he is placed back there, unmorphed, as if nothing had ever happened, except for the fact that he is now an evil brainwashed man. Rita is on the roof and tells him to remain on Earth until further notice. Tommy is, of course, happy to do whatever his Empress commands. She tells him to keep his identity as the Green Ranger a secret. Tommy agrees to do this, and Rita leaves. Now, keep this in your pocket. Tommy has been assigned the task, just 5 seconds ago, just right now, to keep his identity a secret. Keep that in your pocket for just a second.
Yep.
So
you only gotta wait like 5 seconds.
Tommy agrees, and Rita leaves. He stares down at his hand where he's holding his power coin. The coin and his eyes both glow green. Bulk and Skull are walking by, and they see Tommy hanging out in the alley. They walk up to him like, "Looky what we have here, haha!" They start berating him because no one insults Bulk. Tommy just looks at them skeptically and says nothing. Bulk says Tommy owes him an apology. Then Tommy mean mugs them and his eyes flash green. Bulk and Skull are scared by this. They start to back up. Now, it seems like maybe that was just like a thing that happens like automatically, but it happens again, as if it was done on purpose. They slowly start to exit, and as they're exiting, Tommy zaps their feet with green lightning that he shot out of his eyes.
Hey, Riely, what's that second commandment about Tommy Oliver?
He's under a spell.
What's that second commandment again?
That he wouldn't hurt a fly if he didn't need to, if he was under his right mind.
He doesn't need to hurt Bulk and Skull.
He's evil right now!
Still doesn't need to hurt Bulk and Skull.
This is not Tommy, this is the evil Green Ranger.
He's still shooting fucking lightning at him.
Oh my god. I hate you so much.
Hate me as much as you wish.
I went to this podcast. I had this whole bit planned for the beginning, where I was going to describe this phenomenon that I have occasionally, that I was having this evening too, where sometimes Crow Royalty, very close friend of mine, every once in a while I'll have like this type of day where everything Crow Royalty says makes me want to kill them. Just absolutely infuriates me to my core.
What happened on the issue crew with Kathy?
And I was gonna do this whole bit where I was going to describe that phenomenon at the beginning of the podcast. And I was like, no, you know what? I'm not going to set that tone. I'm going to be nice to Crow Royalty. Everything's going to be fine. And you have consistently maintained that this whole time. Everything you say makes you want to wring your neck.
Now you see how I felt about Kathy.
If you're trying to like prove a point here, there's like a metatextual point you're proving being insufferable on purpose, then I commend you for your brilliant satire.
Yeah, that was actually kind of the point here.
So anyway, yeah, they get knocked into that dumpster. Tommy's doing just swell at this whole secret identity situation. He flips his coin in his hands and he leaves. Bulk and Skull surface from the trash. And Skull's like, what is with that guy? And then Bulk responds with maybe the funniest joke in history. I don't know, but he should probably get his eyes checked. So something up with those eyes.
Did that make anybody else just cackle when they were watching the show?
It was brilliant. I did cackle.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're getting tired too?
I just sighed.
Aye. So we cut to the juice bar. Jason is going hard at a punching bag, which Zach is holding up for him. Jason is very angry. He eventually stops punching, and angrily exclaims to Zach that he wishes he knew who that green guy was. He just can't get him off his mind.
That's pretty gay.
Zach asks, why not? Which is a very casual dismissal of concern about their primary enemy. Jason says that it bothers him that he looks like a Power Ranger, but Zordon never mentioned a Green Ranger. Something that also bothers me. Zach asks if he thinks the Green Ranger is the one that trashed the command center. Jason says that it's too much of a coincidence that this guy shows up and suddenly Zordon's missing. Zach surmises that he's working for Rita. Jason says that maybe, which I think is generous. All Jason knows for sure is that he wants to get his hands on this guy. Back at the command center, Billy is working.
Yeah, he wants to get his hands on this guy so he can give him a big fucking kiss.
See, I did a pause so you could make that joke, but it took you half of another sentence to get there.
My fucking brain lagged. I didn't hear the pause at all.
I gave you gotta have better comedic timing. I knew immediately. I even said it in kind of a joking manner, would immediately be like, oh, that's gay. I can make a gay sex joke. And I gave you like 3 seconds to do it and you missed it.
I'd
So I
already
kept going.
said the gay joke once and then didn't process that you had a pause at all. My brain lagging.
Back at the fan center, Billy's working on a panel. Trini and Alpha are also there. Trini asks if they've found any answers. They have not. And the cables and wires are completely burned. Alpha is about this. They'll have to be replaced before they can get Zordon back. Alpha says that if they get the main generator online, he'll be able to look for him. Billy adds they'll also be able to repair the communicators. Trini asks if Billy can do it. Billy says that he can, but it'll take time. And Alpha's like, time, the one thing we don't have. And then we cut to Angel Grove High. Kim arrives and guys. Guys. Kimberly?
Hold on, what outfit? What outfit are you talking about?
Kimberly? In this scene of the show?
Wait, hold on. What? Hold on. I'm trying to see what outfit you're talking about. Motherfucker. God, I hate YouTube ads.
Scrub doesn't even have YouTube Premium.
What fucking outfit are you talking about?
You have to cut fast forward to the Angel Grove High scene.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. That one, then.
With the weird skirt?
With the jean jacket?
Or whatever those are?
With the jean jacket?
With the tied up jean jacket? The fucking...
Yes.
Scrunchie in her hair with the dangly earrings.
Bruh. Oh my god, bruh.
I don't get the hype.
Well, you are wrong. So
you're also talking to the person who was like obsessed with Punk Kimberly.
She spots Tommy. She approaches him, calls his name. He ignores her at first, so she repeats it. Then he just looks at her disinterestedly, then looks away. Kim asks why he didn't show up when they were supposed to meet. What happened? He says something came up. Kim says she got kind of worried. Tommy then very meanly and cruelly says that he is a big boy and that he doesn't need her to worry about him. Kim is aghast and asks if something is wrong because he's totally acting like what? Tommy interjects aggressively. Kim finishes, says he's acting like he's upset with her. Tommy then proceeds to end Kimberly's career and says, has it ever occurred to you that I might have other things on my mind? Newsflash, Kimberly, you are not the center of everyone's universe.
I mean, she's the center of Riely's.
True, so true.
Well, no, actually, that's Ronnie, but...
Oh, yeah, you know. So that happens. Tommy absolutely disassembles Kimberly's entire life force. And she very sadly says, well, excuse me for living, and storms off. We now return you to all my Rangers. We now return you to General Command Center. We now return you to Angel Grove 90210.
What the fuck is this bit?
We now return you to One Juice Bar Grove.
What the fuck is this bit? This what is this?
I'm making references to popular soap operas
that I don't think anyone who's watching or listening to this podcast watches.
But they don't watch them, but they've heard of them. All My Rangers, All My Children.
Never heard of that one.
Angel Grove 90210, Beverly
Heard
Hills
about that one.
90210.
I've heard about 90210.
General Command Center, General Hospital.
Never heard about that one.
You've never heard of General Hospital?
No.
That's wild. And then One Juice Bar Grove is One Tree Hill.
Never heard that one. Is where?
One Tree Hill.
Never heard of that one.
And then I also wrote down unmorphed, which is one that nobody gets. But the reason why I wrote it down is it's a reference to Undressed, which is a soap opera that nobody watched. But Jason David Frank was in it a couple times. So there you go.
So Riely watched it. That's what he's saying, guys.
I did not watch it actually, but I know that Jason David Frank was in it because I read it on Wikipedia. So Tommy's eyes glow green again as he watches her leave. We cut to Rita's. She's happy that the spell is working, and she says that once he has the Sword of Darkness, he'll be her evil Green Ranger forever. Goldar says that the Sword of Darkness is something that he must earn. Rita agrees, and Goldar says that he should test his strength against the putties, which is something that he has already done, I will point out. Lunk and Babu ask if they can watch. Rita says they can, and they'll all go to Earth together to watch the test. They head to Earth. We immediately cut there. Tommy is waiting for them. He says that he is at Rita's service and asks if it's time to crush the Power Rangers. Goldar tells him to have patience and says that as a test, he must use only his skills and no weapons to defeat the putties, and that once he does, he will receive the Sword of Darkness.
Yeah, he's gonna get the Sword of Damocles.
Sword of Damocles. So funny the first time that you had to say it a second.
I've said it like 5 times, dude. What are you talking about?
I guess I've just tuned it out every other time. So anyway, Rita asks if he's prepared. He doesn't really say anything. He just gives like a determined look. And then Rita says, "To battle!" and zaps Tommy away. Tommy's teleported somewhere, and suddenly he's surrounded by putties. Whoa! And Tommy just confidently says, "Come on, putties, who wants to be first?" And he gets to work. At first, he is overwhelmed by his opponents. Rita cheers for him to get them. Then Tommy goes sicko mode, and we get some of those sweet JDF moves. Goldar cheers as the putties are defeated. And then Tommy defeats the last putty by jumping and diving into him dick first, then using his legs to grab him and throw him to the ground. Wow.
Yep. We're gonna fight this man with our ass.
Ass time.
Ass. It's ass in time.
Ass in time. Tommy looks upon his putty victims and they disappear as usual. Tommy laughs evilly and exclaims, "You command and I obey, my empress." Rita commends him. Babu says, "Welcome to the club, bucko," which is a line I remember by heart for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why it's stuck in my head, but I was watching the episode and Rita said like, "Congratulations, you did it," or whatever. And then somehow my brain said, now Babu is going to say, "Welcome to the club, bucko." And then it actually happened. I don't know why I remember this line in particular.
Because it kind of sounds like "Welcome to the club, fucko."
That's not why. I never made that connection until you said that.
That's why I remember it.
But Rita presents Tommy with the Sword of Darkness. Tommy looks upon it and swings it around a bit. He exclaims that he'll destroy the Rangers, starting with the Red Ranger first. And he laughs evilly as the Green Lightning, or not the Green Lightning, just random Green Lightning strikes his sword for no reason but to look cool. Then we cut to outside Billy's house. Kim is there. She's sitting on the Radbug's hood. Zach is standing beside her, poking at his broken communicator. Kim hopes that the others are having luck at the command center. Zach says that they haven't fixed the communicators yet, so they gotta take the Radbug. We cut to Angel Grove High, where Jason is asking around looking for Tommy. He finds him coming down the stairs and calls out to him. Apparently they were supposed to work out later, but Jason informs Tommy that an emergency has come up. So Tommy, in the most evil villain, I am definitely a bad guy voice I've ever heard in my entire life, responds with, "Is that right?" So fucking...
Yeah, it is right.
Is that right? And JDF is really hamming up the evil in this episode, and I really love every second of it. But Jason offers him a rain check. Tommy says, "Sure, I understand." Still in a very "I'm the villain in a spy movie" voice. Jason says he'll catch Tommy later, and he starts to head off. Then when Jason's back is turned, Tommy pulls out his power coin, and he shoots a green kidnap laser right at Jason. Jason's
Hey, Riely.
gone. Yeah?
I'm gonna shoot a green kidnap laser at you.
No, you can't.
I'm gonna do it.
No!
Bye.
But, damn it, now I've been kidnapped by the kidnap laser.
I've been kidnapped by the kidnap laser. Now I have to read the rest of the notes by myself without a co-host.
Damn it. Fuck. So Jason's gone.
Yo, wait, that would have been really funny if we actually did that.
Maybe. Jason's gone. Tommy gives an evil smile and says, 1 down, 4 to go. Jason finds himself in an ominous, smoky room. He looks around. He's freaked out. He touches a bar on the wall, and it zaps him really hard with electricity, and he gets knocked to the ground. Oh, shit.
Whose first instinct when put into a metal room is to go and touch the walls?
He's just looking around, assessing his situation.
Still seems a bit weird.
So we cut back to Kim and Zach. Kim is wondering where Jason is, because he was supposed to meet them there. Zach doesn't know, and it's not like Jason to be late, so they're kind of weirded out by it.
Yeah, it's not like Jason to be late, ever.
True. So we cut back to Jason. He's trying to call the command center, but it does not work. Goldar's voice suddenly rings through the room and informs him his communicator won't work here, to which I'll add that he also can't use it anywhere else because they're broken right now, so that's kind of redundant. Jason turns around and sees Goldar, who's laughing evilly. Goldar says that Jason must face him all alone. As he says that, Jason reaches for his morpher, but oh no! It's not there!
It's been
Goldar
stolen.
laughs. He holds up his morpher and says, "Looking for this? Oh shit, dog." Jason keeps trying to call the command center, but continues to fail. Goldar laughs and says he told him it wouldn't work, but his morpher might, if he can get it, that is. Jason goes for it, but Goldar evades and knocks Jason to the ground. Goldar laughs heavily. This man is having the time of his life, and he's never felt this way before.
Yeah, because he's actually winning.
Goldar taunts Jason, saying he can surely do better than that. We cut back to Kim and Zach. Kim is worried about Jason. He should be there by now. Zach says they can't afford to wait on him, but Kim doesn't feel right leaving him. Zach says not to worry, Jason can take care of himself, and Alpha needs them in the command center. Kim agrees, and they get in the rad bug. Zach is the one driving. Kim skeptically says that she hopes Zach knows what he's doing. Zach says, "I hope so too. Buckle up."
This is the literal best fucking part of this episode.
That's pretty funny.
Just the entirety of this next scene is amazing.
So they head off. We cut to the sky where Zach says the thing again and giggles about it. Kim is all sad and shit.
Jack, or fucking Riely, just say the damn thing. Just say the damn thing.
So Zach tells her to cheer up and that Billy and Alpha will find a way to get Zordon back. Kim says it's not just that, but it's also Tommy. Zach surmises that he gave her the cold shoulder. Kim says it's like he totally changed.
I wonder why.
I wonder what sort of change could have occurred in Tommy's life that might have led to such a violent response.
Yeah, his mom died.
Yeah, exactly. So Zach says they have bigger problems to worry about, and they head to land. They land in the command center, and they disembark. Zach asks if they made any progress reaching Zordon. Trini says Billy is...
Question, Riely.
Yeah?
Do we ever meet any of the Rangers' actual parents?
Yes.
Whose?
Like all of them, actually.
When do we meet Tommy's?
Actually, the main 5, all of them is what I mean.
When do we meet Jason's?
There's an episode where Parents' Day occurs, and we meet like all the main five's parents.
Ah, okay. Well, I feel like Trini just brought her uncle, Eugene.
No, we meet Trini's parents. I'm pretty sure.
Man, she should have just brought her uncle Eugene.
That episode is funny because it contains one of them good Power Ranger blunders, where they give Goldar their power coins in exchange for their parents, without at all considering the fact that Goldar might just lie to them.
Yep.
I feel like in those situations, right, and we had a similar argument about this when it came to Dino Thunder. I feel like in this situation where you're exchanging, there's a villain, you know he might betray you, and you're giving him a group of power sources. I feel like the logical way to go about that would be, in the case of the power coins, to give the example relevant to now, would be to give him like all of the power coins, like except for Jason's, and being like, this is so you know we're serious. Now give us what we want and we'll give you the last one.
But then they'd just be like, okay, here's the rest of y'all's parents. Now I want Jason's coin or I'm not giving back his.
You're really muffled right now.
I said, then he would just give back a certain amount of the parents.
But would he? Or would he just say like, fuck it, I wasn't gonna give him back.
Maybe, but
and then Jason will morph and be like, okay, get fucked then.
Maybe, but probably not. Goldar, as bad as Goldar is, does have a slight sense of honor, so I don't think he would do something like that per se. At least not Goldar. Like, other villains totally would. Goldar does have a slight sense of honor to him.
It's not true at all. Because he does do that. It's exactly what he does.
Like,
he
takes
the power coins and says,
no. Listen to me. I'm saying if he had been given like a select set, he would have kept 2 of them maybe, and then given the rest of them back just so that he got the last one as a honorable thing in disguise, if you really want to put it that way. But then would have insisted on getting the last one in exchange for the others.
That's fair. Like the situation in Dino Thunder 2, where it was really, I thought it was really glaring, and you were like, no, you're wrong. But like, I thought it was really glaring in Dino Thunder when Trent has all the fucking Dino Gems and goes to give them to Mesogog in exchange for his father, and just hands him a box with all of the Dino Gems in it without any sort of insurance that his father's even alive. I don't think he even sees him before he hands Mesogog all of the Dino Gems. Now, if I were Trent, I would have given him red, blue, yellow, and black, and been like, I'm just gonna keep mine until I see that my father's okay and he's in my hands.
Want to know why that was a safer bet, though?
Just so if you're fucking with me, I can morph.
Want to know why that's a safer bet, though?
Why?
Because Trent still has access to his powers, and Mesogog can't use the damn Dino Gems without the people attached to them because they bond to a specific person.
I mean, half of what you just said is true.
They bond to a specific person. He can't really use them
that is true.
Without them.
Yes, but neither... The point is neither can
Trent would still have his civilian powers.
What's that gonna do?
Trent has the most powerful fucking civilian powers.
He does not have... He literally just has a camouflage power.
No, he has all fucking 5.
You're wrong. You're entirely wrong. Incorrect.
You're wrong. At the very least, he's a fucking mimic.
He's not a mimic.
He is.
He's only ever displayed one civilian power.
Yet he uses all of the other ones.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does.
What the fuck
uses them
are you
while
talking
morphed,
about?
technically, but he still uses them.
When does he do a Terra Scream? When does he do an Ultimate Shield?
He does the shield with his constant fucking upward defense that he has while morphed.
Shut the fuck up.
He has higher defense than literally any fucking body else.
I don't think that's true at all. I think you're coping.
Do you not watch those first couple of episodes that he
A
was
lot
in?
of Power Rangers have a lot of defense. I'm sure Trent does not have any more particular defense than any other evil Power Ranger ever. I'm sure he does not have any more defense than Green Ranger does. I'm sure he doesn't have any more defense than fucking Zenitsu does.
Listen to me. He has more defense than what the other Rangers had prepared with their offense in Dino Thunder.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with Ethan's power where he makes his arm scales so that it doesn't hurt him.
Which is a defensive upgrade.
Just because Trent has defense does not...
Super speed then.
You're muffled again.
Explain the super speed then.
It's just like a power that he has while morphed is to do that fast attack. He never uses it for anything but that one attack. That's just like a jutsu, basically. It's one of his attacks.
What's up with my microphone today? Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. He still uses fucking super speed. He's still using Connor's civilian power, even if it is while morph. He's a mimic.
This is so stretched. Then what about the Terra Screen?
When does Kira use that after like the first couple of episodes?
At least like 4 times throughout the entirety of the show.
Name the episodes.
I can't do that.
Exactly. Kira's is just kind of an afterthought, all things considered.
The White Ranger does not have... There are Power Rangers that have super speed special attacks that are not able to utilize super speed for anything but those special attacks. And the White Ranger is one of those cases.
No.
The only time he ever moves in super speed is when he's doing that dagger attack.
Because he mimicked Connor's civilian power.
No, because he has an attack that does a fast dagger.
Because he mimicked Connor's civilian
There's
power.
no... There's no
this is
proof.
Like way
there's
in
no
advance.
definitive proof. There's no definitive proof for anything beyond the super speed and the invisibility. The defense thing is a fucking wild stretch. You've popped the bone off from you've separated it from the rest of the skeleton, and you've just pulled the arm as far as it can physically go to reach for the Ethan power explanation, and there's nothing for Kira's power. He only shows the invisibility and maybe Connor's super speed, maybe, if you define it that way.
Which still implies that he has a mimic ability.
No, because he never uses the super speed outside of the same attack. It's just an attack.
No, he mimics Connor's fucking civilian ability.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You are wrong.
You are wrong, just like
Trent
you're wrong about the
not
Sword of Darkness.
a mimic. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's not at all. And it explains why he's so much stronger than every fucking body else.
He's just because he's stronger.
He's a mimic. He can use all of their abilities. Like a mimic.
That's not true, because he doesn't do that.
Yes, he does.
He does one other thing that could possibly be associated with one other Power Ranger civilian power.
It still implies that he's a mimic.
Okay, I'm on Ranger Wiki right now.
I am opening Ranger Wiki.
Let's see. I think it proves me right. I saw it from the Google preview, but let me see here. Non-Ranger powers and abilities. Okay.
I'm going to tell you, like, I'm going to say this like you said earlier. It's written by fans, since you want to disprove it so much.
Okay, so non-Ranger powers and abilities other than Super Dynamo and the Trans Dino Gem gives them other powers as well. Already the wiki is not worth its salt because it mentions super speed, which he does not use.
Fuck you.
Form. But okay, no, because it's not listed as civilian power though. Why does it say non-Ranger? It specifically denotes a civilian power. This is really weird. But anyway, camouflage.
What the fuck is this Ninja Revelation?
Ninja Revelation. Trent is able to appear in any place, manifesting a small explosion of smoke of color white.
What the fuck?
Ranger Wiki, what? Anyway, camouflage, Trent's civilian power, where he can blend into his background, akin to a
Hey.
chameleon. It is not true invisibility, which is Tommy's power, but it's close. Now, suspiciously absent from this list of power is mimicry.
Ranger Wiki is written by fans.
Shut the fuck up.
No. Because it's the same fucking thing you said earlier.
But this is different.
No, it's not.
Because mine is literally a literal interpretation of the words that was said.
Yours is
You're
fucking wrong, though.
reaching based on one extra power he has while morphed involving going fast. That's so many people have the
He's
power
still a
of
fucking
go
mimic.
fast. How?
It makes more
Give me
sense.
one other example of mimicry besides the
name one
fucking
reason
super
why
speed
he should
thing.
just, or why it makes sense that he would just have a copy of Tommy's.
Because it's not Tommy's. It's different.
It basically is.
It kind of is, but it's not. And
It
Power Rangers
basically
is silly
is.
enough that they'll be like, what is the power? Ah, shit. Ah, fuck. Shit. What's his power?
It makes more sense for it to be a mimic and him just copy others to a
But there's
slightly
no
weaker
proof
degree.
of this.
It makes more sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It does not.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't need to. There's no sense that needs to be made. His civilian power is what it is.
It makes more sense for it to be a mimic.
But there's no evidence for that.
Let the comments decide.
They're not going to decide. They're not going to say anything because no comments exist. But the point is, there is zero evidence.
There's the
that
one.
This is
Let's
true. And the
let's-
fact that
let's
you're not
see,
immediately pointing to a bunch
his
of
name
things
again?
means I'm
What's
right.
his name again? What's his name again? Who's the guy that commented? Brandon. Let's let Brandon decide.
Brandon's not. We have no clue whether Brandon is still listening. But
If Brandon is still listening, let's let him decide, or whoever actively comments on this episode.
You can't name a single viable example of him being a mimic besides the super speed thing. If this is a
It
power
still
Trent has,
implies that he's a
don't you
fucking
think
mimic.
they would have fucking had him use it? Power Rangers is not a show don't tell franchise, okay? If Trent had the power of mimicry, he'd be like, now I'm gonna use the Terror Scream. Now I've used
When do Power Rangers
power?
Okay, get real quick. When do Power Rangers actively use civilian powers more than the first couple of times that they're introduced?
They scatter it across the show. It's not a very often thing, but they scatter it around.
Give me one other time that Jack ever used his. Just real fast. Aside from the first episode.
Well, this is kind of stacked considering I'm a habitual marijuana user and I watched Power Rangers SPD in November of last year. So I really have a hard time recalling the specifics. But I know he used it at least like twice.
Exactly. They barely use these motherfuckers. They weren't gonna go off and explain everything.
No, but if the mimicry is such a fucking intense power because it gives you such a fucking field advantage that if they were going to give a character that power, if Power Rangers was going to make a villain who had the power to mimic all the civilian powers of every other Power Ranger, they would have made a big deal.
Wasn't Trent also introduced on the episode where they had the monster that could like copy their weapons and shit?
No, that's the episode where the evil White Ranger who's different from Trent is introduced.
Still.
Because he copies the White Ranger.
That's really funny, not even kidding.
Copy!
Copy.
Copy!
Very funny and comedy.
Very funny and comedy.
Okay, let's get back to this episode.
He tried to easy find the White Ranger.
He tried to easy find the White Ranger. Anyway, let's get back to this episode.
Folks, I have not looked at my notes in the past 15 minutes. I gotta regain my bearings. So... Zach surmises that Tommy gave her the cold shoulder. Totally changed. We said that. They landed. Zach asks if they made any progress reaching Zordon. Trini says Billy is almost done getting the main computer back up. Just a couple more wires, says Billy. Alpha says to cross their fingers. Something starts to happen. Kim points out the viewing globe, and they see the Green Ranger. He's playing with his cool new sword. Zach says that this is their chance to nail him and figure out what's going on. Alpha says that
Zach.
Well, give him a minute. Alpha says that their sub-generator is active now, so they have partial power. He can get them to the Green Ranger because he knows where he is because they have partial power. Zach is determined, but Kim says they need Jason. Zach tries to call Jason, but doesn't get anything. He laments about how the communicators are still broken. Trini wonders where Jason could be. Then we go back to the smoky room. Smell of wine and sweet perfume. Jason and Goldar are having a stand.
The fuck was that?
You know, like from the song.
What the fuck?
From Don't Stop Believin'.
Oh, shut up.
Because they're in a smoky room.
Shut up.
And sweet perfume.
Shut up.
So Jason and Goldar.
That was worse than most of my jokes.
No, that was great. Mine.
That was terrible.
That was infinitely more clever and witty than, haha, Zach's wax is like cum. Okay? Fuck off.
Nah.
Anyway, so they're having a standoff. Jason demands his morpher back. Goldar says that now he's demanding, but soon he'll be begging. Mwahaha. He also adds in a time that he would take it if he was worthy. Come take it, you little bitch. Get fucked. Jason attacks with all his might, but Goldar overpowers him and flips him to the ground. Goldar laughs, but Jason says not to count him out yet, jumps up from the ground and lands a brutal kick. They exchange blows for a minute, but Goldar quickly pins Jason to the wall by his neck. Goldar taunts him and says that he could finish him off anytime he feels like it, but then he releases him from the chokehold and says that he's a reward to him from Rita for faithful servitude. So he's going to have some fun. We cut to the command center, where Zach is telling Alpha to keep trying to contact Jason and have him meet them. Alpha agrees. And folks, as called by the lovely Zach Taylor, it's morphin' time.
Best fucking scene. Aside from the talking in the rad bug.
Were they fucking in the rad bug? I don't remember that
talking
part.
In the fucking rad bug. Talking in the fucking rad bug.
I didn't know Zach and Kim got involved that way. Jesus. So
you say my jokes are bad. Shut up.
So the Rangers land and they start fighting Tommy with their blade blasters in blade mode. Tommy is handily defeating them. He's landed all sorts of sword hits and knocking them all back. The Rangers all gather around a downed Zach. And then Tommy shoots some power into the ground from his sword. And that sends an explosion at the Rangers. That knocks him back. If you're trying to talk, you're just like descending into nothingness. If that's...
I wasn't.
Okay. I just heard your voice vaguely, like maybe you were saying something, but it wasn't picking up.
Nah, I wasn't saying anything.
Were you singing again live on the podcast?
No.
Do you need to go get some coffee at Dollar General for royalty?
No.
Anyway,
I'm actually kind of happy I did that yesterday.
So anyway, so they get shot by the explosion. They're at the palace, or not there at the palace. We cut to the palace, where Rita says everything is going better.
I didn't know they went to the palace in this episode.
Shut up. Lunk asks what the next step of the plan is. Babu also wants to know. Rita has a big surprise for the power geeks. This excites
Riely, you're a power geek.
True. Back at the battle with Tommy, he says that he's going to finish the Rangers. They call their Zords, which is an escalation of the battle.
Which is against the rules, Zach.
There's a rule in there somewhere.
That's against the rules, Zach.
Well, I guess it could be argued that Rita has forced them to
No.
Because the Green Ranger is so powerful that he cannot be defeated without utilizing the Megazord.
Now, here's something dumb that I want to talk about in this scene, aside from them just escalating the battle and going against the rules. Kimberly doesn't call her Zord again.
No?
No, she doesn't.
Oh, you're right, actually.
Yeah.
But anyway, they roll call, they board, they form the Megazord.
What?
Yeah, we get it.
Why does Kimberly never call her Zord?
Because fuck you specifically, Royalty. That's why they did it. They're like, there's this kid who's not even born yet, we're really gonna fuck with them.
That'd have been fucking hilarious. There's these kids that are not even born yet. We're just gonna fuck with them.
We're just gonna fuck with them. We're just gonna mess with them a little bit.
But like, this is like what, the 5th time it's happened,
I don't know.
and she just hasn't called her fucking Zord. What the fuck?
But folks, they form the Megazord. Immediate man mode. Tommy is shocked. The Megazord waves its fist at him menacingly.
Which makes more sense in the Sentai, I think. I hope.
Yeah, probably.
I hope. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be very confused.
Tommy shoots a blast of green energy from his sword at Megazord, but it deflects it with its Mastodon shield. Tommy is sent knocked back and flees, but not before exclaiming, "You haven't seen the last of the Green Ranger!" Then at Rita's palace, she is pissed. She says she will not accept defeat. Lunk says they have not lost, since she still has Jason. This is comforting for Rita. Rita calls for Goldar.
This is comforting for Jason as well.
Of course. Back at the room, which I am now going to call the Midnight Train to call back to my hilarious goof.
It's not funny.
Jason is once again trying in vain to call help. Goldar taunts him, saying that he's nothing without his friends, he's a pathetic human, etc. Goldar says he has to obey a call from his Empress. He says he may still toy with Jason before he disposes of him. But then again, he may not. Mwahaha.
Can we just throw Goldar off a cliff already?
No.
Why not?
Back at the command center, the sub-generator has locked onto something. Billy asks if it's Zordon. Alpha says he doesn't know, but they'll know momentarily. Zach laments that they need him bad. Billy adds that he hasn't found Jason either. Trini is distressed by this news. Zach says that if Rita is behind this, she's doing some real damage. The Rangers suddenly hear Zordon call out to them.
Rita's just picking petals off of a flower, Kimberly.
Of course.
She's not causing any damage.
They turn to his tube, but he's breaking up. He's telling them they have to stop the Green Ranger, but they're losing him. And he's gone. Trini whines, "Zordon, we need you." We go back to Jason and Goldar. He's back. Goldar has returned. And he's mocking Jason with his morpher again, saying that if he had it, he could get out of here. And then Jason annoyedly says, "What's your point?" And then Goldar drops the morpher on the ground and says to come and get it if he's brave enough. Jason moves in for it, but Goldar knocks him to the ground and nearly takes his head off, just barely missing with his sword. He kicks Jason over and decides he's ready to finish Jason, menacingly waves his sword in his face before moving to finish the job. To be continued. And that's Green with Evil Part 2, Jason's Battle, folks.
The best episode of Green with Evil.
That's so weird.
What?
A lot of this episode is just standing around and talking and setting up things that don't pay off yet. How is this your favorite?
Good kid content.
Nothing that pays off.
Good kid content.
Sure, but this episode is full of good kid content in all of its parts. It also tells this epic story, of which this episode sets up a bunch of shit, but does not pay off on anything. Because that all happens later.
Guess what else doesn't?
What?
Across the Spider-Verse. And guess what else I really like?
If it doesn't pay off on anything, then that probably sucks.
Nah, Across the Spider-Verse is really fucking good. This
Well,
is
Crow,
also really fucking good.
who's your favorite character?
Jason.
I suppose that is fair in Jason's battle.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would argue that I don't know why they called this one Jason's battle, because I think Jason's battle continues to be a primary thing in the next episode and actually pays off in that episode. So it seems like next episode would be the one you called Jason's battle, but that would just be me. You know.
Who's your favorite character, Riely?
Hold on, I'm writing yours down. Don't rush me.
You can speak and write.
No, I can't. Shut up. Now I'm just lying. I'm just writing misinformation.
What are you writing?
I just absentmindedly wrote the wrong character under your favorite character,
Who did you write?
Tommy.
You fucking lying ass bitch. No.
Now, I know I fixed it, but I was very absentmindedly typing, and I was like, yeah, that probably goes here. It does not. But
You
folks,
lying ass bitch. We know who your favorite is.
there are a lot of candidates for this episode.
For you, no, there's not.
Obviously, puts up a good performance this episode. Crow, because you're being a bitch, I will just admit to you right now that although a conversation may be had and it may lead to the conclusion of what you're thinking of today, there definitely is a part of Green with Evil in which I will not give it to Tommy Oliver. That is 100% true. There is a part where I already know what my my favorite character is going to be, and it is not Tommy. So
I call bullshit.
get fucked.
I call
But
bullshit.
in this particular episode here, Jason is a candidate. Zach is also a candidate. He took lead of the team. He did that very efficiently. You get to call the morphin time, obviously. Zach rose to the occasion when he needed to. He was also a person for Kim to talk to. He was really good. Kim herself, of course, her whole career was ended in this episode, but she remained steadfast and continued her Power Ranger duties. Admirable, very admirable. She also looked very pretty.
Quit simping.
There's a lot of
Keep
options.
it in your fucking pants.
Goldar's performance was very good. He just did a lot of really enjoying himself as he tortured Jason, and it was all done very well. The scene was done very excellent. Now, then there's Tommy, who the really aggressive evil in this episode just really tickled me. I will never get over Tommy, Jason being like, yeah, man, sorry, I had an emergency come up. And then just Tommy being like, is that right? And like a fucking anime villain, the most obvious, hostile, intent voice, just like, is that right? It's truly an iconic moment. So, folks, I think I'm gonna start the streak. I promise you, it will not be for all 5 episodes. And Crow thinks I'm bullshitting them, but we'll find out. We'll find out if
I
it's
100% call bullshit on you.
But for now, for today, folks, I will say that my favorite character in Green with Evil Part 2 is Tommy Oliver.
Okay, favorite scene.
I think it is the confrontation between Jason and Tommy, both for that line, obviously, and then for Jason turning his back and Tommy just shooting him with the kidnap laser. It was pretty cool.
With the kidnap laser.
So yeah, kidnap laser scene is my favorite. What about you?
Radbug scene with Zach and Kim.
True. I don't know if the Radbug continues to have a role. This might be it. Because I think they get teleportation back soon.
I fucking hope they use the Radbug again.
But we know, if it's not this episode of Megazord Radio, next episode of Megazord Radio will be the final Radbug appearance. Truly, truly a tragedy of the times. But folks, that's it for today. The Green with Evil story is not yet concluded. There are no rankings to be had until next time when we conclude this 5-parter with our first ever episode covering 3 episodes at once.
Which will
God
be 4.5
help us
hours
all.
at the minimum.
Pro Royalty, where can our listeners find you?
You can find me at linktr.ee/crow_royalty because somebody took my link.
Understandable. Folks, you can find me at linktr.ee/rielycinematicuniverse, which is clickable in the description, or on my Twitter in the pinned tweet at Riely Tweets. There's all sorts of podcasts and stuff there. There's the Issue Crew, of which Crow Royalty recently became a member. There is the Detour Ahead podcast,
which I'm trying to join.
You don't. Nobody joins Detour Ahead. That's Detour Ahead with Alex and Riely. That's it. Fucking Kira's Kingdom. Fucking Pokemon Variety. So many epic shows and other YouTube channels, like my main YouTube channel, Riely and Friends, Big Guy, Little Guy. So much content in the Riely Cinematic Universe for you to enjoy, folks, and you should check it out. But thank you for listening to Megazord Radio. Hopefully we will see you next week, but this will require me to take notes on not 2, but 3 Power Rangers episodes.
You're going to have to start on Monday instead of Tuesday at 8 o'clock.
You're right. I'll figure it out. But gamers, thank you all for listening to this wonderful program that we call Megazord Radio. I've been Riely.
I've been Crow.
Until next time, we're morphin' out of here. It's morphin' time.